like to call the April meeting of the Rockland Community College Board of Trustees to order. The time is 7:02. Mr. Secretary, will you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Martin Wartendyke.
Here.
Ms. Mary Lou Dillon.
Here.
Mr. Grant Valentine. Here. Mr. Joseph Rand.
Here.
Ms. Susan Olker Ramos.
Here.
Mr. Richard Voigt. Mr. Elion Eckert.
Excused.
Mr. Mendel Todd.
Excused.
Ms. Emma Colchamero.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. This is a public comment portion of the meeting. Is there anyone here that would like to address the board? Okay, thank you. Dr. Wood, the President's report.
Yes, thank you very much, and I would remind the board that we do need to have a closed session for the express purpose of labor negotiations and the employment of a particular person. If we could do that at the end, please. And then you have my President's report, and I will not read it, but I want to talk about a couple of things that in this report. But I was also inspired when Emma made her report tonight, because she talked about a couple of activities our students that had, like the dinner for our custodial staff, I was not aware of. And I'm just impressed with this group this year and the good things that they've done. And on Tuesday, we had the Idaho potato truck here. We had great involvement from students and great support. A lot of elected officials. It was a great event, both for the organization New York Lives, which is the organ donation group from New York State. And one of the things that is so important that Roxanne, our alum, tells us is that until this year, we had actually the largest number of students of any of New York colleges and universities in terms of actual donors. And now we are second to Stony Brook University, which has 28,000 students. So I think our record is still very impressive. And the work and the way our students have gotten behind Roxanne has just really been quite amazing. And then we also, as Emma mentioned, they had the blood drive, and I went over there, and there were lots of students. And some students weren't able to donate, but they were very excited, and it was just a terrific event. The other thing that happened yesterday, and it's what's in the beginning of my President's report, is the Faculty Senate had decided last year that we had several employees over a 2-year period who passed away, who were special to the college community, and they decided that they wanted to do something in their honor, and they decided that they would get plaques and put them at the base of trees. And Eileen McCavery Kane designed a lovely plaque, and because they were expensive, the Rockland Community College Federation of Teachers paid for those plaques. And yesterday afternoon we had a ceremony, and it was really, and we had 7 people, a number of these 7 people's family members came, and they were very touched. And the people who spoke about these 7 employees, it was really very, very touching. But this is my favorite picture of the event. Maddie's mother was Susan Perry, who was our director of assessment, and died about 1.5 years ago. And Maddie was a student in our MTS honors program. She's now on a scholarship at NYU. She has an internship in the district attorney's office in New York. And what she was telling Sue Deere, it just touched me. When her mother passed, they simply spread her ashes out over a field, and she didn't have a place to think about her mother. And she came here in this nice plaque under this tree. She said, now I have a place to be and to go. And I just thought that was just a wonderful, wonderful story about the goodness of people and how you do small things that really impact lives of students and employees. And I was very pleased. The other thing that you will see in our President's report, my President's report, on the 3rd page is a picture of our 3 students who earned SUNY Chancellor's Awards. And I was with the 3 of them in Albany, and they were all really quite exceptional. I think you'll enjoy reading about them and this honor that they got. And I hope you enjoy reading the letters that I get there. I always enjoy those and like sharing those with you. And I especially like the picture. I like these pictures. This is an assistant in our library, and he brought his son to see me, and that was one of the fun things I get to do in my job. So I guess I'm getting nostalgic here in my old age, but anyway, that's my President's report. I would be happy to answer any questions. I gave you an extensive facilities update for the public. We continue to be on target and moving forward with our residence hall. We are working very hard on the hospitality center, and that becomes a reality, I think, to be able to move forward with that very soon in our innovation center at IRG. We're really finalizing those and going to be ready to move forward. Our demolition project of the amphitheater is about complete, and our plans are in place to begin the construction of the garden on May the 5th or 6th. And we will have a formal opening of that on June the 29th. We'll also have a soft opening of our Holocaust Museum and Study Center. They're making great progress with that renovation in the library, and we will have a little groundbreaking ceremony for outdoor performance space so that we can invite the Titlins there and be there for that opening, for that's the next project to come. So that's my report, unless there are any other questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wood. Before we move on to the consent agenda, I would like to entertain a nomination for trustee emerita. Have a nomination for trustee emerita?
We're going to separate this from the consent agenda.
If we get the nomination in this particular part. Unless you want to separate it.
I would separate it.
All right, we're gonna separate number 9 from the consent agenda. And I will repeat what I said. Now we're going to entertain a nomination for trustee emerita.
No, no.
What we wants to do is go through the consent agenda.
Right.
and then ceremonially
Separate.
do
Okay,
Yeah.
we could do that. All right, so we will go to the consent agenda. There will be 8 items on the consent agenda, not 9, and I will read those items. Number 1 is the approval of the previous meeting minutes dated 2/23/2017. Number 2 is the approval for the reappointment, promotion, and grant of tenure to non-tenured faculty for academic year 2017-2018, which is Resolution 14/2017. Number 3, the approval of the 2017-2018 budget, which is Resolution 15/2017. Number 4, approval of tuition increase, Resolution 16/2017. Number 5 is the approval of the technology fee increase, Resolution 17/2017. Number 6 is the approval of capital chargeback fees, Resolution 18/2017. Number 7 is a request to the legislature of Rockland County to approve a ground lease agreement between the County of Rockland and the RCC Student Housing Association, LLC. This is Resolution 19/2017. And number 8 is amending the trustee emeriti criteria, Resolution 20/2017. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Second?
Second.
So, Rand. All in favor?
Aye.
Just need to have
Any questions?
discussion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you. All right. Now we will move on to entertaining a nomination for the trustee emeriti. Susan? Okay, Susan is nominating Arlene Clinkscale, Dr. Arlene Clinkscale, for the trustee emeriti award. Do I have a second?
I'll stay with Mr. Chairman.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the nomination carries. As a point of order, do we need to vote on the resolution? Who's nominated?
Let's vote on it, just to be formal.
Okay, so in the interest of doing this properly, we are going to now vote on a resolution 21/2017, which is the approval to grant Dr. Arlene Clinkscale, trustee emerita status. Can I have a motion to approve?
Susan, so moved. I'll second, Mr. Chair.
Second. Any comments, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
And how are we going to inform Dr.
Do you want to press the draft over?
All right,
It didn't matter to graduate.
academic affairs, Dr. Gear.
The board has my report. I just have a couple things that I would like to add. The full-time faculty member who was reappointed was Natalia Lubarsky. She's from the business department. She teaches economics and she teaches finance. She's being reappointed to a second year, and as a result of an oversight, she should have come to March's board, but was left off of the list, so we brought her forward this month. The other thing is that at the end of March, most of you know that we went through a very extensive Middle States site team visit. It was a 2-year process that the campus went through in order to put together our self-study. It was a 10-year self-study, and I'm happy to say that Rockland Community College passed all 14 standards, and the campus community should be very proud of itself, so kudos to our campus when there are a lot of institutions struggling with the Middle States. The last thing is that last week, we had a kickoff for our Full Measure Education mobile app, and there was a presentation made to the board a couple of months ago. The company is now here. They will be finalizing some pieces of the app, and I'm very excited for the near future, if we pilot it for the summer, to be able to show the board a demo of that app. So if there are no questions, that's my report.
Thank you, Dr. Gear. Thank you also for your participation in the Middle States. Thank you.
That's an outstanding job. Outstanding.
Thank you.
Is there a student services report?
Not unless there are
No.
questions.
All right, finance and administration. Dr. Patel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So I would like to inform the board that we have actually started the process of working with REAC, that's the Rockland Economic Assistance Corporation, to prepare tax exempt financing for the housing project. It is a pretty lengthy process, but hopefully within 2 months we should be able to confirm that. The other thing I wanted to inform is that we do have a bank that has agreed to finance a municipal lease for the energy performance contract, and it is for the total amount, and the payback will be equal to or less than the guaranteed savings. So that's the way we use payback. And there's about 1.2 million incentives from Orange and Rockland when we meet certain criteria while we're doing the project. Any no questions? That's my report.
Any question? Thank you, Dr. Hussein. Board Secretary? Any report?
No, Mr. Chairman, the minutes are the consent agenda.
Thank you. Trustee Rand, you want to just mention a few of the foundations?
We had the luncheon a few weeks ago. I thought that it went really well. It was a nice event, a lot of people, a lot of energy. There was a student group from the Performing Arts group, from the Performing Arts students, who did a really nice job, a couple of songs during the program. And in August, there will be the golf outing. That'll be the next big event. And we should highlight, it's not a foundation issue, I guess the foundation's involved, is next May 4th. Right, May 4th? That's the day. You're gonna do that? Okay. All right, so I'll let Mary Lou harangue everybody about that. That's
Okay,
it.
any questions? Thank you, Mr. Resch. Ms. Dillon, NICED?
There will be a NICED conference at the end of this month, and this will be focused on things such as the budget, as well as specific requests that are made by NICED representatives. Very often they are particular to individual campuses, and we kind of depend on each other to see how other campuses handle certain issues, but certainly the budget will be the issue.
Okay, Student Government Association report. Emma?
So we had a busy month. Yesterday was our blood drive run by our Vice President, Umay Zuhair, and we had 65 blood donors. One of our sophomore senators, Duran Payne, has been doing an incredible job. He ran 2 events this month. One is happening tonight, which is the Second Chance Prom, which allows students who didn't go to prom or who want a second shot to attend. And he also ran the custodian dinner 2 weeks ago, where we celebrated our custodial staff and showed them how grateful we are for all the hard work they do. Today we also had a voter registration drive where we registered approximately 30 voters. Our freshman senator Tiana had a financial literacy table a couple weeks ago, and our freshman senator Chanel is having a food cupboard competition right now to get clubs to donate more food to our food cupboard.
Thank you. Emma, we have 4 students, I think 4, maybe 3
One within the
students.
problem.
3 students from the student government in attendance. Maybe you could introduce them.
So here we have, actually, why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Do you mind?
Hi, I'm Jody Ravel. I am a freshman senator and I plan to run for BOT, and I hopefully win.
I'm Kyle Dunnigan. I'm also a freshman senator, and I am running for BOT student trustee.
Seth Spiegel, freshman senator, running for BOT. A vote for Seth is a vote for truth, freedom, and the American way.
Thank you. Okay, is there any old or new business?
Yes, this is where I harangue. Yes. On May 4th, we will be having an event on campus. Dr. Wood made it very clear that there would not be a luncheon or a dinner when he retired, but he would agree to having a fundraiser for the HERS Presidential Student Support Fund. And that will be on May 4th from 3:30 to 6:30. There will be a program that begins at 4:30, so if you have to budget your time, a great deal of work has gone into this. I hope that every one of us present here will come to the event. Students may come for free. You just have to register over in the student union. There are no complimentary tickets, okay? And I hope all of you will come because the program in and of itself will be lovely and there will be very nice food served.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other business, old or new?
I would just mention that we did have a student I was telling the board about earlier. There's an organization called the Jack Kent Scholarship for Transfer Students. It's very highly competitive, and we have one of our students who's finishing up with us now, Gene Steinberg, and he's received that award, and we'll bring him here and recognize him. But he can have up to $40,000 for 3 years. So this is a scholarship valued at $120,000, and we're very proud of him. He worked very hard when he came to this college, and he's very deserving, and we're very pleased for him.
Okay, any other old or new business? If not, I'd like to entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss the employment of a particular individual.
So moved.
And labor relations. So moved. Second?